The sunrise that changed everything. The first time Elena Moretti saw Liam Reyes, she wasn't supposed to be outside, not at 6 in the morning, not barefoot on the cold marble terrace of her family's villa, and definitely not alone. But Elena had always been restless, restless in her golden cage, restless in the life planned for her since birth, restless with the weight of expectations crushing her shoulders long before she knew the meaning of the word responsibility. Her father, Victor Moretti, was one of the wealthiest businessmen in the city. People bowed to him, not physically, but in the way conversations softened around him, in the way waiters trembled when they served him, in the way even other rich men watched him out of the corner of their eyes, measuring their own wealth against his. Elena hated every second of it. So she slipped out at sunrise, searching for a moment that belonged only to her. That's when she saw him. A boy. No, a young man, standing outside the garden fence, adjusting a heavy backpack. His clothes were faded, his shoes patched in places, and he carried the quiet kind of exhaustion that came not from lack of sleep, but from life itself. He was staring at the sunrise as though it was the only beautiful thing he owned. Elena stepped closer, the gravel crunching lightly under her feet. He looked up. Their eyes met. The world, her world, shifted. He didn't lower his gaze, didn't blush or stammer or try to pretend he hadn't been caught near the property of one of the richest families in the city. Instead, he smiled. A small, tired, breathtaking smile. "Morning," he said. Elena felt warmth spread through her chest, warmth she hadn't felt in years. "Morning," she whispered back. She didn't know then that this boy would ruin her family's plans. She didn't know he would become the reason she would cry, fight, and break. She didn't know he would become the greatest love of her life. But love doesn't announce itself politely. It arrives uninvited, unexpected, unstoppable. Just like Liam Reyes. He didn't know who she was. The next morning, Elena returned to the same place, Sunrise Terrace, bare feet again because she wanted to feel grounded, real. And again, he was there, this time closer. He nodded politely. "You like sunrises too?" She nodded shyly. "Every day." He raised an eyebrow. "A girl from a mansion wakes up early voluntarily?" She blinked, so he did know her family, but then Liam shrugged lightly. "Doesn't matter. Sunrise looks the same whether you're rich or poor." Something fluttered in her heart. He wasn't intimidated. He wasn't impressed. He was simply human. "What's your name?" she asked. "Liam." He paused. "You?" "Elena." "Pretty name," he said, and then he went back to watching the sky, as though compliments were casual things he gave without expecting anything in return. Elena wasn't used to that. People fawned over her, complimented her because of her last name, not her first. But Liam, he didn't even ask for her last name, and that made her want to tell him everything. But she held back. Something about him felt fragile. Not in a weak way, but in a way that made her terrified to scare him off. "Where are you going so early?" she asked. "Work," he said simply. "I have a shift at the docks." Her heart tightened. The docks were known for brutally hard labor. "You work there every day?" "Every day," he said. "Doesn't really matter what day it is when people are counting on you." People, plural. "Elena," he said suddenly, "why are you awake so early?" She hesitated. How could she explain that sometimes the silence of her luxurious bedroom suffocated her? That the heavy curtains, the expensive furniture, the polished floors, they all felt like prison bars? Instead, she said softly, "I like the sunrise. It makes me feel free." Liam turned to her fully for the first time, and in his eyes she saw something she never expected. Understanding. Real, deep, painful understanding. "Yeah," he whispered. "Me too." A promise in the light. Over the next few weeks, sunrise became their world. No gods, no rules, no status. Just two people learning each other's hearts. Elena learned that Liam was 20, 2 years older than her, and that he lived with his mother and younger sister in a tiny, crumbling apartment. He learned that Elena hated being called princess, even though everyone in her family did. He learned that she loved music, and she learned that he used to write songs before life forced him to grow up too fast. He learned she had never eaten street food. She learned he had never tasted a freshly baked croissant from a chef. They laughed about it. They shared secrets. They shared silence. And one morning, under a sky painted pink and gold, Liam said something that made Elena's breath stop. "You know, you don't look like someone who belongs behind a fence." She felt her throat tighten. "Sometimes I feel like I don't." He took a shaky breath, then said softly, "Then don't stay there forever." She looked at him, really looked at him. His worn clothes, his calloused hands, his tired but bright eyes. And she made a promise, to herself, to him, to the sunrise. "I don't want to," Elena whispered, and Liam smiled again, that same small, breathtaking smile that started everything. But love doesn't stay hidden forever. When you're rich, nothing stays secret. Not friendships, not mistakes, not love. Especially not love. One morning, Elena woke up late. She rushed outside, hair messy, heart pounding, afraid Liam would assume she'd chosen something over him. But when she got to the terrace, he wasn't there. Instead, standing at the gate were 2 men in black suits, her father's guards. Her blood froze. "Miss Moretti," one said stiffly. "Your presence is requested immediately." She swallowed hard. "Why?" The guard didn't answer, but when she entered the living room, she understood. Her father was standing there, face thunderous, holding a tablet. On the screen, a picture of her, talking to Liam. Her heart stopped. "Explain," her father demanded. "He's just a friend," she said quietly. "Lies," her mother hissed. "We saw your face. You look at him like you used to look at puppies when you were little, like something you want to keep." "Because he's kind," Elena snapped. "Because he listens to me." Her father slammed the tablet on the table. "He is poor." The word echoed like an insult. Elena felt something inside her break. "And what does that have to do with anything?" Her mother stepped forward. "Everything. He's after your money, Elena. Your name. Your connections. That boy is dangerous." "He is not dangerous," she whispered, trembling. Her father's voice dropped to ice. "You will never see him again." The boy who didn't fight back. Elena ran. Not upstairs, not to her room, but straight out of the house, breathless, heart racing, until she reached the street. And there he was. Liam. He was standing on the sidewalk, backpack slung over one shoulder, worry written all over his face. "Elena, what happened? The guards came to my house this morning," she gasped. "What? Why?" Liam looked down. "They told me to stay away from you." Her heart shattered. "They threatened you?" He didn't answer, which meant yes. Elena reached for his hand, but Liam stepped back. "Elena," he whispered, voice breaking. "You're rich. I work 14-hour shifts to keep my family afloat. Your world eats people like me alive." "Stop," she begged. "Don't say that." "Elena, your father could destroy everything I'm trying to protect." He took another step back. "I can't risk my family." Tears filled her eyes. "So you're leaving?" Silence, painful, heavy silence. Finally, he whispered, "I don't want to." "Then don't." But he shook his head. "Elena, love doesn't follow rules, but life does." And with that, he walked away, and Elena broke. The silence that lasted months. He was gone, No more sunrise conversations, no more secret smiles, no more warmth. Liam disappeared, not because he wanted to, but because her world left him no choice. Elena fell into a quiet, spiraling sadness. She stopped painting, stopped laughing, stopped caring. Her parents pretended not to notice. Or maybe they liked the quiet version of their daughter, the version who didn't fight back. Until the night everything changed again. Because love doesn't listen when you order it to die. It waits. It hurts. It grows in the cracks. And it comes back when you least expect it. The night she finally broke. It was raining. Hard. Elena stood in her bedroom, staring at her reflection. Her engagement dress, her forced smile, her dead eyes. Her parents had arranged a marriage for her with the son of another wealthy family. A business merger disguised as love. Tonight was the engagement announcement. She felt sick. When the car arrived to take them to the event, Elena didn't move. "Elena," her father's voice snapped. "Let's go." "No," he blinked. "Excuse me?" "I said no." "Elena," her mother warned. "Do not embarrass us." Elena took off the diamond necklace around her neck and dropped it on the floor. "I don't love him." "You don't have to love him," her mother hissed. "You just have to marry him." Elena looked at both of them, and something inside her finally ignited. "No," she whispered. "I'm done living the life you chose for me." She ran downstairs. Her father shouted. Her mother screamed. But Elena didn't stop. She grabbed the first umbrella she could find and ran out into the storm. Not toward freedom, not toward safety, but toward the docks, toward the boy she wasn't supposed to love. The reunion in the rain. The docks were cold, wet, and loud. Waves crashed violently, echoing the chaos inside her. She searched desperately, breath fogging in the icy air. Then, "Elena," she spun, and there he was, Liam, soaking wet, exhausted. Beautiful in the most heartbreaking way. Their eyes locked. "Elena, what are you doing here? You'll get sick." She shook her head violently. "I don't care." "Elena." "No," she interrupted, stepping toward him. "You don't get to leave me again." He froze. Rain dripped down her face like tears. "I don't want the life my parents want for me," she whispered. "I want—" Her voice cracked. "I want you." Liam closed his eyes, pained. "Your family." "I don't care." "You'll lose everything." "I already lost you. What else is there to lose?" Liam stepped closer, chest rising and falling unevenly. "You think love is enough?" he asked, voice trembling. "You think it's easy to build a life where every bill is a fight, every dream is a sacrifice, every day is a battle?" "I don't care," she repeated, eyes fierce. "As long as I'm with you." He swallowed hard. "Elena, why did you come?" "For you," she whispered. "Only you." And for the first time in months, Liam let himself feel everything. He cupped her face gently. "Elena," he breathed, voice breaking. "I tried to forget you." She leaned into his touch, eyes closing. "I couldn't forget you either." And under the thunderstorm sky, surrounded by crashing waves and the smell of salt and rust, Liam kissed her. Not gently, not hesitantly, but with every ounce of pain, longing, fear, and love they had carried in their hearts. The world didn't approve. The world didn't understand. But for the first time, they didn't care. They choose each other. And the war begins. Elena didn't go home that night. She stayed with Liam's family, his mother and sister welcoming her with warmth she had never known. She slept on a thin mattress in a tiny room, but she woke up feeling more alive than ever. Her father called. She didn't answer. Her mother texted. She deleted the message. Her fiancé's family demanded explanations. She gave none. She chose Liam. But choosing love doesn't remove consequences. Her family unleashed chaos. They cut her cards. They froze her accounts. They removed her from her position in the family company. They publicly shamed Liam, calling him a gold-digging nobody. For the first time in her life, Elena had nothing. But Liam, he had her. He worked double shifts to help support everyone. Elena got a job at a cafe, her first real job in her life. Customers were rude. Her feet hurt. She burned her hand twice. But she never complained. She was free. They were broke. But they were happy. Because love doesn't require wealth. It requires willingness. The day everything fell apart, again. Just when life started settling into a shaky but beautiful rhythm, tragedy struck. Liam's mother collapsed while cleaning. Hospital bills came. Too many, too fast, too expensive. Liam blamed himself. "I should have worked more hours," he said bitterly. "You work enough," Elena whispered. "Not enough to keep my family safe." Elena wanted to help. She wanted to fix everything. So she did the one thing Liam begged her not to do. She called her father. "Daddy, please, she needs treatment." "Come home," he said coldly. "Help her first." "No. Please, come home, Elena. Then we'll talk." Elena felt sick. He was using a woman's life as a bargaining chip. But she had no choice. She met him at his office the next morning. Her father stared at her, unblinking. "You look thinner," he said. "Life with your boyfriend seems difficult." Elena didn't respond. Her father leaned back. "Come home. End this. I'll take care of Liam's family." Elena trembled. She knew what that meant. "I will not leave Liam." Her father sighed, a slow, disappointed sigh. "Then they will suffer," he said simply. Elena's knees nearly gave out. "You're a monster," she whispered. "I'm a father," he corrected, "protecting his daughter." "No," she said, "you're protecting your image." Her father didn't deny it. "Are you done?" he asked. Elena nodded slowly. "Yes." She walked out, and she walked away from her family forever, a decision that cost everything. Liam's mother recovered with community donations and the help of a charity clinic. Elena cried tears of relief when the doctor said she would be okay. But the cost was brutal. Her family disowned her publicly. Her name was erased from company legal documents. Her parents stopped calling her their daughter. Her mother blocked her number. Her father sent her one final message. "Enjoy your new life. You chose poverty. You chose him. Live with it." And Elena did. She lived with it all. The tiny apartment, the cheap dinners, the broken heater, the long work days, the uncertainty, the fear. But she also lived with sunrise walks holding Liam's hand, home-cooked meals with real laughter, a family who loved her without conditions, the warmth of a boy who kissed her forehead when she cried, the comfort of someone who didn't want her money, just her heart. And slowly, the pain faded. Because love, when it's real, heals. But love still has one more test. Months passed. Life was better. Not easy, but theirs. One evening, Liam knelt beside her bed. "Elena," he whispered shakily, "I know I have nothing. No money, no security, no status. But I love you with everything I am." Her breath caught. He pulled out a small silver ring, scratched, old, probably from a pawn shop. But to her it was the most beautiful thing she had ever seen. "Elena Moretti," he whispered, "will you marry me?" Tears streamed down her face. "Yes," she cried. "Yes, of course, yes." They kissed, laughing and crying at the same time. But while they celebrated, her father was preparing something that would shatter everything again, because for some people, power is more important than happiness. And Victor Moretti would not let his daughter marry a poor boy, even if it destroyed her. The final battle. The attack didn't come with violence. Rich people destroy quietly. The next morning, all three of Liam's workplaces fired him. No explanation, just a cold, rehearsed, "We no longer require your services." Elena's cafe closed unexpectedly the same day, bought out by a corporation her father secretly owned. Their landlord received an offer to triple his rent. He accepted. They had 30 days to move out. Everything was collapsing. Liam punched the wall until his knuckles bled. "This is my fault," he choked out. "I brought this on you." "You didn't," Elena whispered. "My father did." "And why?" Liam said brokenly. "Because of me." She cupped his face. "No, because of his pride." But pride destroys more than poverty ever could. They packed silently, cried silently, slept in each other's arms, terrified. Until one night, Liam whispered, "Elena, maybe you should go back." Her heart stopped. "No, you don't deserve this life," he said quietly. "Not the struggle, not the fear, not the exhaustion." She shook her head violently. "I deserve you." "Elena," he breathed, tears filling his eyes. "I love you too much to ruin your life." "You are my life," she whispered fiercely. And then, she made a decision that would change everything, the letter that ended a dynasty. Elena wrote a letter, to the press, to the world, to expose her father. She told the truth, how he used wealth to control her, how he threatened and sabotaged Liam's life, how he tried to bribe her to come home, how he destroyed businesses and futures to keep her obedient. She signed the letter with her full name, Elena Moretti, proud partner of Liam Reyes. It went viral within hours. Reporters flooded the streets. Shareholders panicked. Politicians distanced themselves. Employees protested outside the Moretti headquarters. Her father's empire trembled. The world finally saw his cruelty. And for the first time, he wasn't untouchable. The girl who became her own story. Elena didn't return to her family. She didn't apologize. She didn't hide. Instead, she used the attention to create a foundation, helping low-income workers, the people Liam had worked beside, the people her parents ignored. Donations poured in. Liam found new jobs, better ones, fair ones. Their apartment improved, life stabilized, hope returned. And then one afternoon, while standing on the same dock where they reunited in the rain, Liam whispered, "Elena, are you ready?" She nodded, smiling softly, for everything. They held hands and walked forward, together. Wedding at sunrise. It was small, beautiful, raw. Just Liam, Elena, his family, some neighbors, and the morning sun. Elena wore a simple white dress she bought second-hand. Liam wore a shirt he ironed 6 times the night before. They exchanged rings. They exchanged vows. They exchanged promises that had already been written in their hearts long before this day, when the officiant finally said, "You may kiss the bride." Liam kissed her like she was the only sunrise he ever wanted to witness again. People clapped. His sister cried. His mother hugged Elena like a true daughter, and far away in a mansion filled with silence, a man realized too late that money cannot compete with love. Years later, a whisper of hope. Elena never spoke to her father again, but sometimes her mother sent small, quiet letters, short ones. "I miss you. I hope you're well. I'm sorry." But Elena never went back. She had built a life on truth, love, and her own choices. Liam continued working, but also started writing again. Songs, stories, melodies inspired by the girl who changed his life. And every morning, without fail, they watched the sunrise together, because that was where it all began, and because some loves don't fade. Some loves survive wealth, pride, distance, fear, and war. Some loves change the world. Final line. They tried to keep them apart. They tried to destroy them. But in the end, love didn't just break the rules. It rewrote them.